Yom Kippur holidays. Recording? Are we recording there, Carmi? I don't know. We don't care about that. That's fine. Now, Essie's going to speak a little bit later, tell us a little story about her travels, etc. But before we do anything, we have to say we have some special people here, and this is just your opportunity, even though most of us know you. You're kind of our visitors, so introduce yourself and just tell us what's going down. All right. Go ahead, don't be shy. Say hello.
Yes, I'm Judy and I just, we moved to Phoenix last August, and we're back up here visiting. And thought we'd come up here and be a little bit cooler for a couple of weeks. But yeah, everything's going good down there. We found a nice temple, Temple Beth Shalom, Temple Beth Shalom in Sun City. And yeah, everything's doing good.
You're great. We miss you. We know Paul and Judy are members of our congregation, but they're down in Arizona. They do zoom in quite a bit, but seeing the person is a real special thing. So now we have a very special visitor here. Say your name if you wish. Anything about you want.
Okay. Hi, I'm Milo. I'm Estee's partner. We met at Jewish summer camp three years ago. So we go to UW together, and and she's super talented, and I'm really excited for her to lead High Holiday Services and for me to come.
Oh my gosh, setting the bar so high.
Milo. Great to have you here. Now, as you can see on the Zoom, names that you may not recognize, because today we're going to honor the memory of a member of our congregation who passed away recently. And she was very dear to us. So we have 3 of her family members here in person, and I'll have them introduce themselves, and then we'll meet the ones on the Zoomers.
Hi, I'm Bruce Seidel. It's my wife, Karen.
Hello. And I'm Carol Seidel, or Carol Michelle.
And you're all related to our beloved Bobby, right? Thank you so much for being here. And on the Zoom call, we have Alyssa and Ross and Sandy. Sandy's one of the siblings of Bobby, a very dear younger sister. Alyssa and Ross, niece and nephew. So we're happy that they can be here for a sad occasion. And I also see Alan and Cassie, another sibling of Bobby, Alan. So we're good that you're here. We also say hello to everyone else on the Zoom. All right, we're going to get down to some other things. We got to pray. First, we do an opening song. To have the song, you have to have a book. Helpful. On page 128, Ma Yafeh Hayom Shabbat Shalom. Listen and then sing. Listen first.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Sing with me now. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh
love that. Now, the one person back here who has to be recognized.
Can you say your name?
This is my daughter Amelia, and I'm Tobias, and I'm Melissa and Carmi's son.
Thank you for being here. You are so sweet. That makes a big difference when we see children. You love seeing children. All right. Now, for those who are visiting, one of the most important part of being a member of our little community is participation. And we can have participations from the Zoomers, because Carmi is this magician. You can get them here, put them right in the center. We also have the local in-person. We'd like to have about 7 readers tonight, one at a time. We're going to assign the parts. All right, let's see. Who is going to be reading today on page number 124 at the top? All right, we've got Stan right there. He's going for it. And then 124 in the middle of another in-person one reader. We have Robin. Now help me out here because I'm not turning my back. Who on the Zoom has the book and wants to read on page 125? Tell me who's raised their hand. 125. Any Zoomer? Jeff. Or Jeff or Laura? Laura. 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 All right. And then, yeah. And then let's have someone on page 126 in the sanctuary read. All right, Brenda. And then, I said 7 people, getting close. On page 127, all right, Donna, and they'll have one more Zoomer. If we have a Zoomer, that's 127, the whole page. And we're going to have somebody read the Psalm for Shabbat, a Zoomer on page 140. Who is that? Who's the Zoomer that says, yes, I'm going to read? Nobody? All right, then we have Sandra. Jeff? All right, we're gonna get Sandra to read too, because what the heck? I'm gonna have Sandra read on page 141. All right, and that'll be it for today. Now, if you're reading in the sanctuary, what you must do is come up and read from here. But before we do that, we light the Shabbat candles. That is a very beautiful part of Shabbat. Whether you're at home or whether you're in the sanctuary, whether you're on the road. And I'm sure that Esty and Milo, right, light the candles, and they did it at Camp Newman, and you know, lighting candles is really special. So, Milo, we're going to have you come up here with Esty. Come up with your partner, Esty. Brenda wants to do it? She's the oneg. All right, sit on down, Milo. You've been usurped because Brenda is our oneg host, so we got to follow the mitzvah and the tradition. Sorry about that. I'll get you another time. You're not shy, though, right? It was an honor. All right. Page 120. Let's go. Got matches, too. That's going to be good.
Oh, okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who has hallowed us with mitzvot commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Good Shabbos, everyone.
Yeah, beautiful. You did such a great job. Thank you so much. Oneg, the Oneg host. So that's beautiful. All right. But Milo, we're not going to let you off that easily. Come on, read on page 121. Come up here. I got it. You read both passages, all right?
Okay. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Well, we'll look forward to having you with us many times in the future, and particularly on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. All right, Mr. Stan, come up and read at the top of page 124, if you would, please.
Okay, 124. Chris. We enter the sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in turn, come into the sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer.
And now Robin is going to come and read the next section, middle of page 124.
I'm okay.
She's all right. She's fine. Robin is fine. She's going to be
I had to make an entrance.
Luckily, you have Sherwin with you at all times to make sure everything's fine.
You are right.
Without Sherwin, nothing's going to happen.
Nope.
We love you.
124. It's right there.
May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block, including me, to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May the synagogue be, for all who enters, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
You did all right. Thank you so much, Robin. Thank you, Robin. Now at home on the Zoom world, Laura is going to read on page 125.
Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time. Contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into the quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide.
Thank you so much. And now, Brenda, page 126.
I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no somatics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life.
Donna is going to read on page 127.
There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace, born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God.
Thank you so much. All right, are we ready for a rousing version of Lecha Dodi? I know we are. It's on page number 138 and 139. What verses are we going to do today, Esty? Which runs are we going to do?
We're gonna do one in Open D. I believe it's Nava Tehilas. It goes like this.
But I'm just asking you, which verses are we doing?
Oh, which verses? Sorry, I heard which version.
No, verses, yeah.
1, 2, and 9.
1, 2, and 9, a special version of Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekabela Shamor bezachor peripur echad Ishmiyanu elam yuchad Adonai echad Ushmo echad Lishem ultiferet veli tila Lecha Dodi likat kala Penei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Dodi likat kala Penei Shabbat nekabela Yitoreri Kiva orech kumi uri verse 5 Shir Taveri Kevod Adonai alayich nigla Lecha Dodi likat kala Penei Shabbat לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Verse 9. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, טוב אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
All right, that's beautiful. Oh my gosh, that was excellent. Let's remain right here. We're doing so beautifully. Great congregation. Jeff at home on the Zoom is going to read the Psalm on page 140. Let's turn them up so we can hear them, Carmi. Thanks.
It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night with a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. The righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon, planted in the house of Adonai. They flourish in the courts of our God. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong.
Thank you. And Sandra here in the kind of sanctuary, the next psalm, which is Psalm 93 on page 141.
I'll hold it. You walked away. Okay. Adonai is sovereign. God robed in grandeur. Adonai is robed. God is girded with strength. The world stands firm. It cannot be shaken. Your throne stands firm from of old. From eternity you have existed. The ocean sounds, Adonai. The ocean sounds its thunder. The ocean sounds its pounding. Above the thunder of the mighty waters, more majestic than the breakers of the sea, is Adonai, majestic on high. Your decrees are indeed enduring. Holiness befits your house, Adonai, for all times. I need your help, Rabbi.
You're doing great. You're doing beautifully. Just doing beautifully.
Got it?
So beautifully. Yeah, you're doing great. All right, dear friends, we had some great readers and introductory prayers, Kabbalat Shabbat. And now, without further ado, we do the Baruch Hu. The Baruch Hu is a formal call to prayer, and God is awaiting our call on page 146. And if you're able to rise, whether home or in the sanctuary, please do so. If you don't rise, that's fine also.
Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai.
Let's remain standing. Let's remain standing. We're going to move right to page 152 for the chanting of the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Let's be seated now. Beautiful. Let's have Esty lead all of us. Join with her, please. In 154, V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha.
Just calm.
Together. Ready? V'ahavta.
Et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol me'odecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinanta am levanecha v'dibarta ba'am Beshivtecha b'beitecha uvlechtecha baderech uvshokbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha vehayu letotafot bein einecha uvtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tiskeru V'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'item kedoshim leloechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihiot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Emet.
Beautiful. You guys are good. You see? Just doing everything together, such a beautiful thing. Hey, Carmi, we have any questions from the Zoomers and the chatters that we need to respond to, or are they cool?
Yeah. This is Jeff. It's wonderful to have Esty, but sometimes Esty just breaks up and we can't hear it all. That last time chanting with you was fine, but sometimes we just hear pieces of syllables and it's not coming through. That was why we raised our hand.
That's all right.
Okay.
Well, you see, it's very important. You see, God works in mysterious ways. But God...
And we're not able to chat.
Of course. You have to give God credit. But even, there's imperfections. So we're going to try to fix the Zoom because, we're partners with God. God invented Zoom, but we have to be partners with God. So Carmi is now working as an emissary, a malach, an angel, and he's going to fix the Zoom so SC can be heard. That's going to be, we here in the sanctuary can hear her just fine, right? I can hear her. But it's the Zoomers that are having problems. So we'll try it again. We're going to stage 2, which is 158, a new exciting version of Mi Chamocha. If you get Esty higher, beautiful.
Yai la 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 yai la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 mi chamocha ba elim Adonai mi kodesh, Nora tehilot osefele, Nora tehilot osefele. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, Rokeyim lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed.
This is all, it's a work in progress. So we go back to Jeff and say to Jeff and other Zoomers, how did we do on that one? Could you hear Essie singing? You can check.
Yes, but the sound quality is still breaking up, and it's not good sound quality. We can hear occasionally she has a lovely voice, and then things fade in and out.
All right. Well, we're on a learning curve. We can say
I'm able to hear everything okay, so maybe
so.
it's just
That
different.
Josh saying this now. Josh, you have in your home you can hear things pretty clear. Is that what you're
In my
saying?
AirPods, it's in my ears though, so it could be when you
AirPods
have
help.
speakers.
All right. So one thing, this is information for all of us, because a lot of us are at home for Zooming, right? Or because some Fridays we don't have any in person. It's important to have your sound quality at home on your machine, whether it be an iPad or a phone, and maybe use, some type of ear device to make it, you can hear it better. That's my advice.
Yeah,
We
Rabbi,
can hear it fine.
Rabbi,
We can hear it fine.
Okay, we can hear you fine, but the music is breaking up. I don't think it's on our end, but maybe it is. Thank you.
All right, so you're saying this is we're learning that my microphone, I don't break up, is what you're saying, right, Jeff?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right.
But Essie's microphone does break up.
That's
All
what
right.
I'm
It has
yes.
nothing to do with Essie, I can guarantee you that. But it might have something to do with the microphone. So it's a learning curve.
4 octaves lower, my goodness.
Now we like her just the
I'm
way
not
she is.
Neil, I can't.
All right. This
wish
is a
I was
learning
Neil.
experience. That I love that. You guys are really helpful. How about let's listen again. V'shameru v'nei Yisrael, page 162. The people of Israel keep Shabbat. Let's see how we do this one.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam, be'rit olam, be'ni u'bein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam, be'rit olam, be'ni u'bein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam. Oti le'olam.
I know it's a little disconcerting to talk about the tech, but we're preparing for holidays. We want to make sure we got it right. So I'm going to go back to Jeff and Josh and Jennifer. How are we doing on the sound now? Because I have an idea, but I want to hear your direct
Hey,
feedback.
Rabbi, this is Scott. It sounds fantastic. I've heard her the whole time. So
All right.
I don't know what others are hearing, but I've heard her the whole time.
All right. I think so. What we're determining now is that maybe each person has their own device at home. Some are coming clearer than others, but Scott Weiss saying that he can hear it loud and clear. So I'm going to take it on that level and pray for good things. So stay just really where you are. Now,
Yeah.
anybody else? What do you say? All right. Let's pray. Pray that the sound is good and pray that God can hear our prayers. And I know God can hear our prayers. 164, I'm going to kind of lead this along with Esty, Tefillah. Let's rise if you're able to do so. We'll just do it a cappella, right? Yeah. Adonai sifatai tifta ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Turn the page. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Hasei Avovim Ahot, U'mevidu Livnei V'neihem, V'ma'an Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Turn the page. Atagi bor leolam Adonai. Mechayei hakol ata Rav lehoshia. Morid hatal. Mechalchel chayim b'chesed. Mechayei hakol b'rakamim rabim. So make doflim v'rofei cholim. Umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afa. Micha mocha bal gevurot, umido mehalach, melech memid, umechaye, umasmiach Yeshua. V'ne'emanata lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai mekayeha. Next page. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'kol yom yahalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. I'm going to invite everyone to be seated now. We've been standing for a long enough time. We're going to do a version, Essie is going to lead us, of course, of Shalom Rav. It might be this version you know, maybe it's not. But it's a good version, 178.
Shalom Rav, Am Yisrael Amcha, Tasi. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Oh, you know that version. That was beautiful. I love Esty, she has the iPad. The music's right on the iPad. No more sheet music. I love it. Just like those symphony musicians all use the iPad now. We're in a new world. All right.
It's all in one place. It's easier.
370, much easier. 371 is a Misha Berach. I'm going to ask Carmi, could you get those Zoomers back on the screen so we can see their squares? Are they there now? Oh, God bless them. God bless those Zoomers. I'm turning to you now, and I'm seeing who is unmuted. And if you're unmuted, I'm going to call upon you to say names of people in your life who are in need of healing. This is healing time, page 371. But before we do the Misha Berach, we're going to say the names. So right now, I'm looking at the screen, and right now, I do not see anyone unmuted. And now Wendy is unmuted. Oh, go ahead, Wendy. Say some names, please.
Stephanie Sahano, Kathy Allen, Jack Locasio, Nancy Buchanan, Don Fuhr, Ingrid Fuhr, Susie Hart, Mia Pratt, Brian, Donna Mullen, Debbie Shapiro, Kate McClellan, and all those suffering in the midst of war.
Thank you, Wendy. Last chance for the people on Zoom to unmute to say the names. All right. No one yet. All right. Now we're going to go to the people here in the sanctuary. Would you do this so they can hear you? Is pass around the microphone. If you have the names. If you don't know anybody's name aloud, pass it on.
Carol Lim, Faith Clegg, Scott Epstein, Adam Clegg, Bill Vinci, Samantha LaPointe, Barry and Mary Pat Meeker, Robin Alpert, June Kalman, Stanley Sofrin, Eileen Turner, Jay Turner, David LaPointe, Georgia Nielsen, the Kodama family, Jennifer Conboy, Donna Mullins, and the Sierra family.
Jack Paddock, Wendy Salzberg, Claire Plotkin, Marcia Hecker, Honey and Lowell Scott, Harleen and Ralph Hoffman, Kathy and Al Estrada, Robin and Sherwin Alpert, Carol Lim, Melissa Carmi and Josh Brooks, Brenda LaPointe and family, Dennis and Barbara Knapp.
Robin Alpert, Mackenzie Alpert, Anthony Alpert, Becky Benaroya, Lynn Russell, Elias Soto, June Coleman, Carol and Jack Lim, Chuck Goldstein, Sid and Fran Cohn, David LaPointe, Shelley Moulton, and Judith Shannon.
Roseanne Allspector and Arthur Allspector.
Judy Sarine.
Paul Sarine, Ryan Sarine, and then Scott Street, and Sarah Sarine.
Bobby Silverman.
Noach Ben Shoshana.
Sandra Herman, Laura Goldstein, the Israeli civilians, the IDF, and the hostage families in Israel.
Janine Soto and Jonathan Soto.
All right, and this is our time for praying for healing on page 371, Misha Berach. Please join with Esty. Thank you all, and thank you, Esty. We're going to be having Esty with us this Shabbat, the second week in September, again, kind of preparing, and then on October 2nd, we begin Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, the whole Yamim Noraim, the days of awe. And so you'll get to know her pretty well, I hope, and she'll get to know you pretty well. But I want you to learn a little bit about Esty with just a short time. And maybe next time we'll have a little bit longer time. But Esty has come to us, and Neil recommended her, thanks to Neil, as he did Ruthie before. And Esty does work at Temple Deher Sinai. She was one of the teachers for our grandchild last year. She did a great job. She's a song leader, obviously. She's a multi-talented person. And she's also a student at the University of Washington, as heard from Milo. And this summer, she went on a fantastic journey as part of her education. It was an amazing trip. And I'm going to put a little bit of a time limit on you. If you can give us a 4-minute overview of what you did this summer, and then when you come back in September, we're going to expand on it, because one of the most interesting trips I've ever heard about. So go ahead, Esty.
Sure. So we studied monuments and memory culture in Germany. So we were in Munich for 3 weeks and Berlin for 10 days, studying the different ways in which Germans have come to terms with really World War II and Nazism and fascism. And so we did that through studying the graphic design and just design in general of the various monuments there. So some of the sites we visited were Dachau, which was the first concentration camp created. We visited the Eagle's Nest, which has become a massive moneymaker for the Austrian government. It's become a tourist attraction because it's beautiful, but it is also the site where Hitler's complex was. So it's very, very complicated. We also visited the memorial to the murdered Jews of Europe, both in Berlin and Munich, which looked very different. What else did we visited the Jewish Museum, which I think is one of the best memorials in Germany. It was in Berlin. Very thoughtful design. The whole building was a sort of piece of social justice art. There were windows that were sort of looked like shards of glass because of the Night of Broken Glass. There were these parts of the museum that were completely dark and silent to sort of represent the loneliness of the Holocaust. But there were also these sort of darker sides to it, which, like I said, the Eagle's Nest was very touristy. I had people come up to me and say, hey, can you take our picture here? And I sort of looked at them like, do you know what this place is, right? So it was a very, very complex trip because we were studying the ways in which people study history and the ways in which people forget history, which as Jews, we try not to. We try to remember our own stories, and it was very impactful in terms of the way we all saw our own personal stories and how they fit into this bigger scheme of history as a whole. So there you go.
And one thing about Esty, which I learned, we were talking about this trip, and this is something she went for, how long was it?
5 weeks.
5 weeks. It's part of the academic credit for University of Washington. And she went with the whole students, mostly from University of Washington, but from other places. But she had a unique advantage because she grew up with a father who's a professor of German, a Jewish guy who focuses on the German language, and she learned German growing up. So she was able to speak to the people in their own language, which for any tourist is a great advantage. And you can learn things that way that you can't learn any other way. So I think she came back, she had to write a paper about it. Really an amazing journey. She gets credit, and she's going on to finish her degree next year, but not before she does the high holiday services for us. So don't worry about that. Now we're going to move on to something really very sad, our memorial section, and particularly today when we have our opportunity to remember our wonderful Bobby. So on 586, let's rise as able, if you're able to, but if you're not able to, that's fine. It's just rise spiritually. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol.
Lateit gedula leotzer breshit. Shelo asanu kiguye ha'aratzot. Velo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama. Shelo samchachinu kahem. Kol hamonam. Ve'anachnu korim. Umishtachavim umodim. Lifnei melech. Malchei hamlachim. Hakadosh Baruch Hu.
The Namar, V'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol haaretz, V'yom hahu, V'yom hahu, Yeh Adonai Echad, U'shemo, U'shemo, U'shemo. Let's be seated now. Many people who are here in our sanctuary and quite a few who are on the screen are here to help us remember our fellow member, Bobby Silverman, and we're here to help them mourn their loss of a wonderful, wonderful person. Bobby was born on July 4th in 1948. And she married Ira on June 16th, 1968. And you know that Ira left us a few years back, and we remember him. She and Ira have two sons. Charlie, married to Sandra, and Danny's married to Amelia, and they have two granddaughters, Kelsey and Jason, and also two great-grandchildren, which is a beautiful thing, have great-grandchildren, Xander and Laith. And I asked, this was from a wonderful person, Sandy, the sister, one of the sisters, she had a wonderful family. She was brought up in the Finkelstein family. Her parents were Murray and Francis, and her siblings are Cheryl, Alan, and I mentioned Sandy also. And Sandy wrote that Bobby was very active in her retirement community. She made a lot of close friends. Some of them are here, the friends here at our temple. She was in the Red Hat group, if you know all about that. Pretty impressive. And she also she was at Ocean Shores, and she had friends down there. Very, very close to her family and friends, and she had a special friend, Terry, whom she traveled with. So that's a little bit about her, but you know something, Bobby was, in addition to all those things, so much more. And particularly to us here at Beit Chaverim. She was a presence. She wasn't here every Shabbat, but she was here often, and particularly in the holidays. She would always be sitting right back there where Carol is. She would always be sitting there, and she was always paying attention and praying. She was supporting us, and if someone was going through a loss, she'd give them a hug. Yeah, remember that? Yeah, and Sandy, I want to thank you, Sandy, because the day before she died, and I didn't know, this came along very suddenly. And I know a lot of people were very shocked that she had left.
They're talking about Bobby on, we're watching somebody on Bobby's right about talking about it.
Bobby, who's talking there?
Okay, I'm back.
Alan, are you saying something, Alan? We're missing you, Alan.
It's Sandy's iPhone. I don't know which Sandy it is, but she's.
Well, Sandy's a sister. Sister Sandy. Do you want to say something, Sandy? I know you were a little bit you weren't sure you could speak.
I do, but I don't know how to unmute it.
You're on mute now. You can talk. Speak up. Just speak nice and loudly, Sandy. Go ahead.
This has been really special for me, Rabbi. You have been a big part of my life growing up and in our family. And my sister had such a great community with you, and it's been really hard, but she's in a better place, and she's with Ira, and my sister was my best friend, my surrogate mother, and I talk to her every day at 5 o'clock.
We know it's really tough for you, Sandy, and I know you really want to be here in person, but it's really hard. So for you and your siblings, for the family, your children, for Bobby's kids, her grandkids, her great-grandkids, and Sandy called me, and she knew that Bobby was dying, came to the hospital the night before, and all of them, all of her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren were there. A lot of people to be in an ICU, and we all prayed the Shema together, and we gave her the best send-off we could. So now she's reunited with her parents and with Ira. And the one thing, and I see Alyssa and Ross up there, the last time I had a long conversation was at a simcha when her niece and nephew were married at Lake Chelan on New Year's Eve. And we were sitting together at the table. And I learned so much from her that night. We had a long conversation about her growing up in the Jewish community, her dad being in the choir at the synagogue, and it was just I really got to know her in a different way. That was beautiful. So my friend, this is Bobby Finkelstein Silverman, one of our members, and we don't have a lot of members, so when we lose a member, particularly one like this, it's a big loss. So remember her. We also want to remember those whose yard sites we have. Josephine Alexander, Stanley Berman, Lucy Jaffe, the grandmother of Melissa, Shirley Schlanger, the mother of Julie, Pearl Fellerman, Silver Bagatelle, Herman Goldstein, Albert Paddock, the father of June Kalman, Lester Fixell, grandfather of Josh Penzel, Lourdes Echevarria, Murray Levine, Harry Cohn, Lily Odom, Donald Jacobson, Barbara Browdy, Mary Suzanne Groshon, the mother of Jeffrey, Jim Stevenson, husband of our fellow member Mary, all of these loved ones that we remember. Anybody else want to say a name of someone they're thinking of today? Go ahead, stand up. Hearts with you and their family. Anyone else? Well, in memory of all of these, and especially today, of Bobby Silverman. Yes? Wendy, what do you want to say? Whose name you want to say, Wendy? Speak out so we can hear you.
Albert Schoenwetter.
Oh, sweet. Thank you, Wendy. Let's all rise now, if it's able to do so, for the Kaddish. The Kaddish is our holiest prayer. And I think this is for the first time that we're saying the Kaddish here at Beit Chaverim in memory of our beloved Bobby.
Oh my God.
598. I hope that you, all members of the family who are there, can listen to us and say the Kaddish, and those who are here today, the Seidel and Michelle family. Let's say the Kaddish 598. Yitgadal, v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divira chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayidchol Beit Yisrael, v'galav v'zman v'imru. Amen. Hey Shemei Rabbah Mavarach, v'olam omei maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, Shemei Dekutsha Barichu, Le'elam in kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiram b'yalma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shalom Rabba min Shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. God send peace to those who are mourning, peace to those who are remembering, and peace to the souls of our loved ones, and let
How
us
do I
say,
turn it back on?
Amen. Please be seated just for a moment. Just for a moment. We're not going to go anywhere quite yet. We're going to invite our president, Jeffrey Groshon, to give us a word of greeting from afar. Jeff, please give us a blessing and a greeting.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. First of all, apologies for the disruption I caused by talking about raising my hand about audio, but I think we're through it. I think it's on our end. A couple of announcements of things that are coming up.